Libra, welcome to your hopes, fears, and reality spread. As per usual, you can click right on that description box below, and it will talk about the significance of the spread as well as the placement of each card. Here we are. Well, damn. Libra, Libra, Libra. Your readings are always so interesting because they go up, down, up, down, up, down. But I think that's because you're always trying to balance things out in your head, you know? All right, hoping. You are hoping to put a halt on change in your resources, okay? There is you have a finite set of resources. You know, you have so much going on with your health, you have so much going on with your wealth, and you have so much going on with your tribe and how you network and leverage the communication between the people who basically count as a resource, like the people closest to you. But you are trying to put all of that on pause because you have like an uncertainty of what to do next. So you're hoping to be like, okay, I'm going to take stock of everything I have, and then I'm going to try and make it so nothing changes over the next week, 2 weeks maybe. Okay, you want to put all that on pause so you can rework the situation. What you fear, and the sad part about this is we have 3 pentacles on the board. That's half the cards right now, and they're all in the inverse, okay? So you are really holding back your resources. What you fear is that a very recent disruption in your foundation, something that made you, some information came in or something happened that made you question your value system, made you question how you leverage your resources, okay? You fear that somebody else will be taking control of your resources and that that person has ill intent. Like you will lose control of everything that you've built up. And like I said, you could be dealing with health, you could be dealing with actual wealth, or you can be dealing with your friends and family, okay? But you feel like any change in my resources is not going to be controlled by me right now. So the only way I can control my resources is to hold everything back. And what I'm getting from this is I'm getting it's less about money and more about health or friendships. So it's almost like you're holding back all communication with those closest to you because you fear the changes that are coming forward. This could be about mental health. Just keep that in mind. No pun intended. The reality of the situation is the worst is over. Yes, it's an unbalanced situation, which is why it's spinning around in your head so much. You know, Libras don't like to be out of balance. But the thing that Libras forget is they're balancing things only in their own perception. Okay? So sometimes the universe has to balance things, and sometimes other people have to balance things, and it can make you feel off balance as they get into balance. So it's like, it's so hard to describe. Libras, you are constantly moving and adjusting things in your environment in a systematic way to make you feel like everything's fair based on your perception. But every once in a while, you pull things a little bit too much into your favor, and then something happens where people have to balance out their own energies, and you feel like they're taking from you. But really, life is about give and take. So there are times when you should be giving and there are times when you should be taking. Right now, to me, feels like a time where you're supposed to give, but you don't want to. Okay? So you didn't. And the worst part of that is over, but you're still left with that feeling of unbalance. So I don't know if you're perceiving you having to give as somebody taking. It's going to be a little bit different for each person, but I want you to think about the balancing of energies, and I want you to think about the give and take and the ebbs and flows of life. Everything can't always rush to you. You know, I make a lot of references to the water because I was a sailing instructor back in Chicago for a while. I used to teach classes, beginner classes. I mean, I'm not an expert at it, but I spent several years sailing on Lake Michigan, and the one thing that I learned about sailing, especially in a large lake, is that we get what's called a sage. Um, and that means when water rushes into an area, like water is coming and rushing into, let's say, the break wall and where we dock our boats and stuff like that, at some point it can only fill so much before you get an undercurrent that rushes back out. And you don't always see the undercurrent on the water, but you feel it within the boat. And that's the feeling that I'm getting right now, is there's a balancing of energies, and you feel the current moving away from you. You feel that little bit of undertow moving away from you, and you feel like it's being taken, but really it's just being balanced because so much has come to you recently. So it's time to think about other people's perception. Yeah, see, the situation has control over you. You don't have control over it. And you don't have all the information you need to see what's actually going to bring emotional fulfillment. What I would say, Libra, is sit back, look at everything, and ask yourself, why is this happening for me, not why is this happening to me? The universe could be teaching you a lesson right now, and you're so busy trying to hold on to every resource you have, you may not realize that that the universe is trying to cut things loose to make more room on your plate for something better to come in. So if ties have to be cut, if friendships need to be severed, if you actually have to let go of people, Libra, you need to let go of those old energies before something else comes in. And what comes in might be better than the painful things that you're holding on to. Okay. Is it more important to hold on to what you have, or is it more important to go with the ebbs and flows of the universe? Let that water balance itself out the way it naturally does, and then see where you are. Take stock, build new bonds. If you need to let people go, Libra, just let people go. Don't try and force people to stay when they're walking out of your life. It never turns out good. I hope you found a message that serves your highest good, and I'll see you next time.